So I'm going to mute everyone. There's just feedback. Oh, Leslie, because I made you the host, you have to mute everyone but me. Okay. I think we're good. Can you guys, everyone give me a thumbs up? You can hear me good? Okay, perfect. So I want to thank you guys for getting on the call tonight. We just got back from Summit, as I'm sure your news feeds were flooded with pictures and posts and videos, because we had the time of our lives. And I can tell you Vegas was good to Leslie and I last year, but Tennessee it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind and my expectations. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know, but I walked with tears. The emotions through me were just, crap, I'm cutting out. Let me see if I can go outside. I'm going to try to walk outside and see if that makes a difference. Hold on. Is that any better? Okay, perfect. So like I was saying, we didn't know what we were going to expect, but there wasn't a day that I wasn't completely and utterly emotional and just really moved. I know that we have some people on the call who want to be able to share. I want them to be able to share some of their key highlights and takeaways, so I'm going to not take up that time. Narissa, I think you're probably getting ready for work, so do you want to just share what your biggest takeaways from Summit were?
Well, it was just mind-blowing, the whole thing. Like, as many trainings and videos and things I read, everything, like, nothing compares to that whole experience. I mean, some of the biggest things were like, focus on your actions and not on the results. I think a lot of us get caught up on like trying to get to a specific rank, or, you know, freaked out about how much money we're making or whatever. But like, for me, it changed my way of thinking as like, just to help a specific amount of people, and the rest will come. So, I mean, that was the biggest part for me. Can I hear you?
Okay, sorry, I'm talking to myself. So as a leader in the organization, what would your advice be to somebody who is anticipating maybe going on the fence about getting to Summit next year?
I think everybody, no matter like if it's their first day or their 10th year, they should all be there. Like, there's no experience you could have outside of that would even measure up in the slightest. I mean, it really it puts a lot of things into perspective for you and really opens your mind.
I agree. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just want to say I'm so proud of Narissa for coming out there. She has really, I don't know her very well, but I feel like I've heard nothing but amazing things from Leslie, and the time that I did get to spend with her, it was mostly on the last day, just to hear her perspective and the way that she thinks. Um, we're all different leaders and we're all in different journeys and we're doing this for different reasons, and just how strong she is, and like to know that, you know, she said she does personal development, like she has every book known to personal development, and like this was huge for her and she has a different mindset leaving Summit. I really appreciate you getting there and making it a priority for your business, and showing, you know, she had a coach there and she left her family and she worked full time and she had to come back and go right back to work. So I'm really, really proud of her. Let's go over to Andrea.
Hi. Hold on. Sorry. So we're talking about our experience, right? Like super scatterbrained. I think like the biggest thing that I learned was to build relationships, like not just be so into like selling a challenge pack or signing a coach. I think like really getting to know someone and not only their goals, but like about their families and their struggles and things like that was something I really took away. Making it go from me to we, because sometimes we get extremely selfish. I think, you know, I get selfish sometimes. Like the last times of the month, I'm like, okay, gotta sell this challenge pack so I can get to SC10. But it's like the same thing as Narissa was saying, is like you don't want to focus on selling. You want to focus on the people that we're trying to help. And so I think that kind of piggybacks off what she said.
If you were talking to a brand new coach in the business and they said, okay, so you just invested all this money and you left your family and you went, like, what would be the one critical thing that you took from Summit besides the getting, you know, the focused on, you know, not just a number and selling the challenge packs, but we had a lot of different workshops and there was a lot of different advice, from team building and building leaders and Shakeology, to sharing your story, to relationships. What was the one thing that just dropped you to your knees that was like, holy crap, okay, I get it. This is what I need to start doing?
I think the thing that like was brought to my attention the most was definitely stepping out of your comfort zone and telling people your full story. You know, I'm very weary of what I say, but since the workshop by Carly Del Carlo, she talked about her struggle with fitness and anxiety and depression and things like that. And I think it really hit. And I think when we share our story with others like that, and that's so emotional and so in depth, I think they can really relate, which draws their attention to us and that they can get through what they're going through.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I can't say enough about all of the leaders who stepped up and came. Like, we did get to spend a fair amount of time together, and Andrea I spent a lot of time with, and I know that it wasn't a cheap trip for her. Her family just moved across the country. This is something that, you know, her and her husband have had to work together to make sure that this is the right move for her. I remember when Heather first signed her up and she was like, I have a new coach on my team and she's done, you know, marketing stuff before, but she's not really sure. She probably just wants to get the discount because it's caused some problems for her before. And just to know that she has Chris by her side and he knows what her goals are and they're doing this as a team and he's supporting her, like, it moves me to tears to know that she has the ability to change her entire life. We all do. Like, from this opportunity, I can't tell you what this opportunity. I mean, we sat in the audience and we watched people just like you and I, who their whole entire world in a year have changed. Like, they're home with their kids, or they lost 300 pounds. Like, don't think that there's anything special between those coaches or Leslie or me or Katrina or Andrea or Narissa or Tina. You can do this. if you say, okay, well, $295 or $170, that seems like a lot, and I can't afford a plane ticket, start saving now. Be intentional with your goals and get there. Like, we're not making six figures. Like, we're just like everybody else, chipping away, putting stuff on our credit cards and making these sacrifices. Like, Monica and I spent a lot of money this weekend, but you know what? I wouldn't have changed anything because I had an experience of a lifetime with my team. And I want that for all of you guys to come into, we hung out with Becky, like really close. When I saw Becky and Christina when I first walked in, I literally broke down in tears, and they're like, stop crying. I'm like, no, listen, like, without you guys and your leadership, yes, Mindy's my sponsor, but you guys initiated this, and it has changed my life in more ways than you will ever understand. And then, Leslie and I spent our last night with Becky in a bar singing Journey karaoke until 2:30 in the morning. Like, these are these people who and I'm sure some of you look at and you're thinking, I could never do that. I could never be that person. I call bullshit. You can do it, and you will do it if you put your head down and you work hard and you take the feedback that we're getting from our top coaches and the trainings that we're putting together, and you show up every single day. So, Katrina, do you want to share your experiences? Because I know you had a lot of aha moments, and you also got to get recognized on stage. And I mean, that was huge. This was your first year at Summit.
Sure. Am I on mute? Oh,
you're good.
Okay. Being recognized on stage was beyond amazing. I can't even put it into words, and I hate that I always use the word amazing, but that means that I can't find a word that can really legitimately describe it. When I use amazing, that's what I mean. I can't put it into words. That was like a total thrill, a rush, and I'm amazed that I got up there, that I did it, because 7 months ago I was ready to quit. And I went inactive. I did quit. I gave up, threw in the towel, put my Shakeco on hold, and 7 months later, it's like, boom, you're a 1-star diamond. And I just needed to put my head down and decide what I really wanted, and that this is it. Fitness has always been my life. I'm on my way to circuit training right now to teach a class. But, the biggest aha as far as seminars was, and I am a horrible, guilty person of, like, not so much my kids, but my husband. A lot of you know my husband's gone all the time. And when Shalene talked to us, not only about to have more sex, because that's not an issue. When he's here, that's great. But was to put your spouse kind of first in your relationships and how you're going to work to build those other than your customers or your Beachbody business, or for me, my photography business. It was more of like, my family is my number one. But when she said, you start off your day and you're like, I'm going to have sex with my husband tonight. And then by the time you get home, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. No, it's not. It's like, no, that needs to be a priority. They need to be our number one above our business, because happy individuals and happy relationships build happy businesses. And I took that to both, my Beachbody business and my photography business, and for him and PG&E as well, for us both to be human, happy human beings and healthy in our other relationships outside of our, marriage. In order for you to be a happy person, you kind of have to be well-rounded in all those aspects. And so that was huge for me, just because I know I'm like, oh, my photography business, well, my kids are first, then the photo business, then Beachbody, and then, oh, there's Brad, wait, I am married, so for her to put that in perspective was huge. And as far as all the other seminars go, they were amazing. Like, I know our number one thing is to focus on our why, and a lot of people don't follow my why, because my why is to be healthy, and it's not a compelling why, but it can be, just that I just have to put it into words and express why I do it, and it will relate to somebody. So I've always kind of put my why on the back burner, because I didn't even really know why myself. And so that was what I took away as my call to action was, I really need to put my why into words and put it out there for the world to see. And I'm already making way better videos and posting more than one video a day. So that's great. because you guys all know I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm a social media hermit. I don't do that. And I've posted a video almost every day since Summit, so that's amazing.
Awesome. Well, I just want to reiterate like what Katrina said at the beginning. She quit basically, like she was done. And there wasn't anything that I was going to say or Mindy was going to say to change that for her. It had to be her that made that decision. And sit every day since then. Katrina doesn't run her business the same way I run my business, or Andrea runs her business, or Leslie runs her business. But the difference is it works for her. And that's what we have to realize, is that you don't have to compare yourself to anyone else on this journey. The way you're doing may be completely different than I teach you in Coach Basics. But if that works for you and your coaches and they're still getting the information that they need, like, do what you have to do. Don't think that my way is the right way, or Andrea's way is the right way, or Heather's way is the right way, or Shay's way is the right way. Like, you are the CEO of your business, and you have to make it work the way that it's going to work for you and your family and whatever else you have going on in your life. And when you have coaches who say that they're going to put their Shakeology on hold, or they don't tell you that they're going to put your Shakeology on hold, and you have to reach out to them and say, hey, listen, you're projected to be inactive and this range impacts, because choice. But talk to them from your heart and share has done for you and what you have been want to talk. But just share those things and have open communication with your team, because there's no I in team. With like, we are successful. Oh, I'm breaking up again.
Hey, are you really
make sure
quick,
that you're
gonna record
communicating.
Are you gonna record
Yeah.
this call?
It's going to be recorded. Yes. Yes, it's recorded. Okay. I don't think Tina's on the call, so Leslie, do you want to go?
Sure. So just as I thought last year with just Melissa and I that Beachbody was life-changing, I can say that it was that way again, times like 100. When we watched Simon Sinek speak as one of the keynote speakers, and he said, by ourselves we are nothing, but together we are amazing, it really meant so much to me, because most of you don't know much about me, but I'm a very, very like stubborn individual that like doesn't want to ask for help, that because I've always, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's not that I'm not a team player. I just have a hard time asking for help because I think I can do it myself. And that's not how you're going to be successful in this business. In the same sense, I was the same way about my story. So in the workshops that we were in, the one with Monica Ward and Carly Del Carlo, they talked about the power of leveraging your story. And they said the worst story told is the one that's not told. And over the last almost year and a half that I've been a coach now, to be honest, it took me a year of being a coach to even open up about my previous eating disorder, and to open up about my family having a house go into foreclosure and having to, move in with my parents being pregnant and nobody knowing that I was even pregnant because I was too ashamed to tell anybody about what was going on in my life. And I just wanted everybody to think that everything was perfect, and it's not. Nobody's perfect, and nobody's going to relate to you and build relationships with people if they think that you're perfect. So that was huge for me in learning how to build your story and to be able to tell it. Like,
no matter how boring your life seems, you have a story. And with Beachbody, with every single step, you have a story. So sharing it, whether it's financial, whether it's Beachbody, whether it's physical or emotional, every single little bit, like, oh my gosh, I made enough money this week to pay for my PG&E bill. Like, you might not think it's big, but somebody else may not have money to pay their PG&E bill. So just, learning to open up and share your story, and learning that so many of us hide behind the products. That was huge. You put a post up that's like Shakeology and whatever, you're hiding behind the products instead of putting yourself out there as what people are going to be engaged to you and brought to you. So that was most of the main parts I took away that really were deep to me. The other things I took away, because we're all in different parts of our businesses, that changing your mindset from hobby to career. Like, I changed my mind in December that this is going to be a career, but I'm realizing that growing our team and getting other people, that are interested in doing the business and just going all in, having that mental shift and attitude, changing those small actions that make it to where people know that you're in this for the long run. Like, some people may think, oh, why didn't you go with me as a coach when you're friends with so-and-so who's a coach? Well, maybe they never post about that they're doing Beachbody, or never send invites out. So that's why they're going to go with somebody that they know is going to be there for the long run. So, you're putting together your no matter what's daily. No matter what, I'm going to post in my groups. No matter what, I'm going to post on my page. No matter what, I'm going to reach out to my coaches. I'm going to build better relationships with people. And, those are just a few takeaways that I took away from Summit. But I'm telling you, like, we went from Melissa and I going last year. And if you don't know the story, she was pregnant. I was pumping. We drove to Vegas. We had so many things. I mean, we roomed with people we didn't even know, crawled in bed with strangers in the middle of the night. We made it happen. There was no excuses. And this year we got to share that. There were 9 of us total in our whole team. And I already have 7 people from my team that have tickets to Summit next year. And that's so exciting. It means that people are seeing what we're doing and that we're making a difference. And that's really why we're all here, right? So if you don't already have your ticket, get on the wait list, because Summit will change your life, not only in your business, not only with your Beachbody coaches, but it's going to change the way you have a relationship with your spouses, with your significant others, with your children. It will change your outlook on life.
Absolutely. Over the course of the last year, I've seen Leslie grow so much as a person. And I know this hasn't been easy, but I'll be honest with you, until she made that decision that she was all in, that's when it became real to me, because it was like, holy shit, I have a coach who needs this business to work for them. Like, I was diamond and I loved it and I was passionate about it, but it was like, I have somebody who I want to help change her life and I want to help inspire her. And if I'm not doing it, like, she's going to do it on her own, but I don't want to be left out. Like, this business, like, I knew what it could do, but I was pregnant and having a third unexpected baby, and her and I have been able to build this together. And oftentimes we compare ourselves and where we are in our journeys. And I just want to remind you, Leslie, like, you're an incredible leader and you have a phenomenal team of ladies and men who love you so much. And you have, I know next year you will be sitting in an elite chair next to you. And I'm so proud you have 7 people already registered, because by the end of the year, I guarantee that Team Kickstart's going to have at least 12 people at Summit. I have no doubt. And Leslie will be taking that stage as an elite coach. So if you are on Leslie's team or you're following Leslie's journey, hang on to the coattails, because she's going places and she's an extremely strong leader. We only have a couple more minutes, but there's just a few things. So I have a call to action for all of you guys. We've been talking a lot about sharing your story. So my call to action to you is to craft a 1 to 2 minute video, and then share it with your upline. So whether that's me or Katrina or Leslie or Heather or Shay or whoever it is, Narissa, Tina, and then put hashtag my Beachbody story when you share it with your coach. I'm not telling you have to share this on your page. Share it within our group or share it in a private message. Some other big takeaways that I had was stop kidding yourself. There's no secret sauce. You have to put work in and release the expectation that this business is going to happen naturally. You need to create your own opportunities. Make sure that you're doing follow-ups. Make sure that you're getting in front of 3 to 5 new people, if not more per day. Connect with new people. Go outside your comfort zone. Make your Facebook a place that's personal and people want to follow you. Make sure you are posting at the right times. For as far as your teams, delegate. Use your team leaders who want to step up and want to have that. Use them to help leverage team calls or super Saturdays or team calendars. I know we're going to be working on a team calendar here soon, so that way you guys know what to expect every single month, and then you can start creating team calendars for your teams. Make sure you're recognized and celebrate. So when we have new people that have joined the team, welcome them. If you are bogged down because there's notifications, take the notification off. That's okay. But make sure that you're making those people feel welcome the same way that you would want to be welcomed, because you don't know their story. You don't know their background. And this might be the first place that they've ever had a sense of family. There's a new challenge group tracker coming out, which I know we covered that last night. We can post more in the page about that. If you're pushing for 2-star this year, make sure that is by December, because there's a new leader conference that you can go to down near LA. We'll post more about that. And one of the big things that one of the quotes that stuck out to me, it says, "Let your trials be your triumphs, your struggles be your story, your adversity be your advantage, and your mess be your message." For me, that hits home, because I was just talking to one of my coaches today about her story, and she said, "I don't even know why I'm sharing these things with you." And they were things that I could relate to and things she had no clue about me. And she said, "Oh my God, I thought like you have it all together. No, I'm just as fucked up as you all." We all are crazy. So don't think that just because I don't share those things, which I'm going to be sharing a lot more in our team page, it's hard when you have family on Facebook and you see people judge, you hear whispers and people hating on multi-level marketing businesses. But that's why I made a post last night, because I was like, I'm sure this girl posted this about me because I've been blowing up my news feed, but I'm not trying to sell anyone on anything. This is how I'm building my life, and this is it for me. Like, I'm all in. There's not another way for me. I came home to my kids to do this full time. So let's make huge goals for this year. Let's share them in the team page. Let's support each other. If you don't have a success partner, find one, someone who's going to push you and follow up with you and check in with you. And don't, because we have a team, we have a huge team. And if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we had 12 people on this call tonight. We don't know what's going on at their house. We don't know if they're stuck at work or if they're making dinner and things like that. So just maybe reach out to them and say, hey, this was a great call, or it was a shitty call, whatever. But listen to the playback. There might be something for you in this. Invite your challengers to become coaches. Let's just keep building. Let's get huge. Like, I have huge goals for this year, and I want each and every one of you to share your goals as well, because I can't do it by myself. I need you guys, and I want you along there with me. And I want everyone on this call at Summit next year, and encourage your spouses to get there, because my husband was with me. And I will tell you, that was probably the best decision that I made from my marriage, because when I got done walking the stage,
he looked over at me with tears in his eyes and he said, I'm sorry that I haven't got on your calls and I haven't supported you, but whatever I need to do, I'm all in. Like, he's already talking about what he wants to do for Summit next year. Like,